Welcome to the online training of Vital Bizform. Vital Bizform to accelerate approval efficiency with new integrated CRM cross-service features. If you were to look at the routine of a form, it's not just always about designing and filling out. Then following it is the familiar approval process. In fact, there's also the printing and archiving as well as the need for searching form content and analysis. Now let's count how many forms we have in the company, from meeting minutes, new employee basic information, customer information form, payment requisition, purchase forms, inspection forms, proposals, and many other forms. And within the company, forms of all kinds and sizes truly, really require a highly effective information system to assist you. That's why we need Vital Bizform. This is the homepage of Vital Bizform. In the middle area, you will see a form dashboard. There is the unsigned form list, meaning the forms awaiting your approval. The approved form list, meaning the forms you have approved. Outbox are the form that you've submitted. And the draft list, meaning the list of forms you've created but have not submitted. On the left sidebar, in the top part, you will see Outbox, or the forms I've submitted. Inbox, which is the forms requiring my approval. My documents, which are forms without approval workflows made by myself. And lastly, draft forms. Below it, you'll see the settings menu for form templates, team settings, permission management, and enterprise settings. On the topmost part, you can see the form search bar. Here, you can directly click the search box and it will then list the form types you have permission to search. Clicking on the Advanced button will open Advanced Form Search with more filtering conditions. On the top right, clicking the small bell icon will show your personal to-do items and update notifications. Clicking the profile picture will display options to switch sites, log out, and settings. On the right sidebar categories, when you've set up categories to organize forms, the category name will be displayed here. Diving deeper on the settings menu, settings here include category configurations, global notification settings, API integration settings, site name modification, leasing information, plan details, and more. This is the settings page and the account information page. Here you can edit and upload your logo to change the logo of the site in the top left corner. Below it, you can edit the site name for easy identification when switching sites. On the bottommost section, there are identifiers. Identifiers are used when asking customer service, provided as an identification code to customer service. In the Team tab, you can invite new users to the system. To invite, you can simply click Invite on the top right corner. Enter their email. You can also enter multiple user emails, separating them with commas or spacebar. Then click Confirm. For a recently invited user who hasn't logged in, it will be displayed as to be confirmed. On every user column, please be careful when changing a user from a member to an administrator. Administrators have extensive privileges, including modifying form templates, viewing any forms, deleting members, and deleting forms. After confirming the email, your colleagues will receive an invitation email after clicking the Activate Account button. You will then be redirected to create the password you want to use for your account. After that, you can already sign in to the Bizform system with your email and password. On your first login, there will be a guided tour of the Bizform interface operations. The platform's homepage will be empty upon the first login. You can proceed to add forms to see the available options. You can do this by clicking templates from the left sidebar. To fill out a form, you can click on the top left corner plus new form. Then you will have a list of forms you can fill out. On the left part, you can find the form by category or through the search bar on the upper right corner. You can also view the forms through list or preview. To fill out, you can easily click on the form you want. Forms can come with public links for receiving response from no account users. The logo on the left of each form represents different meaning. For blue, it means the form doesn't have any approval process, and orange means there's an approval process for the form, as shown in the slide. Clicking on public link will open this pop-up section. You can display a QR code for people to scan and fill out the form. You can click open to open the form in the new tab. You can click on the copy URL to share the link to others, or you can also use emails to send the link. To do this, you need to enable the system default email to send the link. After having a glimpse of Bizform, well, there are also some form systems online, but do you feel like these online forms are somewhat different from your past experience? Online forms typically take the format of a linear arrangement, much like Google Forms. However, the forms we used to have in our company probably had different formats, consisting of various sections for input. Since forms in the company often need to be printed for records or archiving, the design naturally incorporates a staggered layout to save space. This allows for a comprehensive presentation of information in a single glance and aids it in saving paper when printing. Let's recall our past experiences in designing forms, where we often busy reconstructing columns, merging and unmerging cells, sometimes even a slight change in information and formatting requires redoing the entire form, leading to a hectic and chaotic process. Filling out forms was always challenging, requiring constant deletions and revisions for each entry or checkbox. It consumed a significant amount of time. So, we would hope our customers can easily design or create a form like this from scratch. With Bizform, we can create forms like this. Just hover over, click the plus sign, and choose from a variety of fields. Whether it's a single column or multiple column, it's all easy and manageable. You can also set up text input fields, including field names, align them center, left, or right, set default text, or make them a required field. You can even add the placeholder for people to see when they are filling out the form. In addition, we offer various field types, such as date fields, to assist in filling out different dates. We also have other response fields like selection fields, including drop-downs, single choice, and multiple choice options. For example, let's adjust the format to a drop-down menu. Simply fill in the required options in the menu item boxes. Later, when filling out the form, you can easily choose from the options. Even after setting up the option, you can modify the selection method without worrying to having to fill in the options again. In addition, you can adjust the column width to achieve various layouts. Plus, copying horizontal or vertical fields is also super easy. You can also easily add or delete fields and adjusting the order. Bizform can also design headers, providing spaces for image, text, and automatically generate dates. You can freely drag and position the header to meet each company's identity and corporate image requirements. In short, to add a new field in the layout, click the blue button on the left side of the page to add different arrangement styles, and you can drag them up and down. Each form template must specify two fields, whether it's a title or a description. It will then be the preview for the response of respondents. Using a part as an example, users can customize response settings based on their needs, whether it's radio buttons, text box, drop-down menu, and many other field types as listed on the left. We've also added the functionality of handwritten signatures directly from the form. You can easily design fields for signatures, making it possible to sign whether filling out the form internally or externally. Of course, signing on your mobile phone is even more convenient. You can directly use touchscreen gestures for your signature. Bizform also allows you to select a calculation field to set up a calculation formula like on this page. For example, to count the total, which is quantity times price, you can easily put quantity and fill in the available function times and then click price. Or amount type set with 1000 separators and unit symbols. This is what you'll see while filling out the form. It will total by itself, the amount, text, and also the total amount. Filling out forms often involves repetitive data. Therefore, with this system, you can also automatically bring out basic user informations. When designing the form, select Automatically Bring In and select the validation. Administrators can edit colleagues' basic data field settings by going to System Settings or User Field Settings. In addition to basic fields, you can also customize employee numbers, phone numbers, or tax IDs. There are some settings that you can do. You can drag the left 6 dot to sort, click the Add Field button to add a field as basic user information, and lastly, you can also uncheck the box if you don't want this employee to be edited by employees. Bizform can also help you number the responses. You can select Auto Number and click New to add a new numbering rule. Automatic numbering will only be generated after the form is filled and sent. This is an example of what it will look of the settings to what it will look like. When designing forms, you can establish approval steps to notify HR and secretaries of the signing process. To do this, you can go to Workflow from the top selection, then click Add Workflow to add the first step of the signing process. You can then click on the Add Approver section to select relevant personnel. If multiple individuals are assigned or placed in a department or group in a stage, the form filler needs to specify one person as the approver for that stage. You can also set a stage as a manager stage, where the stage can be assigned to the respondent's manager or the manager of the previous stage. You can also easily delete or drag to rearrange the order of stages. Once the form is submitted, colleagues in the first stage will see this form on the system homepage. After processing or confirming, you can click Agree, and remember, before the first submission, be sure to set the job title seal at least once. You can set up the seal easily by filling the information. It will then appear as approved after you click Agree on the homepage dashboard. In addition, you can also add approval steps while reviewing the form, as shown on the slide. Moving on is about notifications. You can include individuals to be notified when creating or approving this form in the signature process design. When filling out the form, you can also specify additional colleagues to be notified. Whether it is the document creation notification or workflow completion. After the form has entered the approval process, you can only add individuals to be notified upon completion. As you can see here, there's no Add Recipients in the Document Creation tab. You can also continue to configure form's permission. First, you can determine who can fill out the form and display this form in the form library within the platform. Next, you can also decide who can view and search for this form within the platform with no restriction for managers, fillers, and approvers. Lastly, you can also allow specific individuals to edit this form within the platform with no restriction for managers and approvers. In Bizform, you can also bring Vital CRM fields to Bizform. Vital CRM is used to manage customer, company, and opportunity data. By integrating relevant data into the CRM during the sales opportunity management phase and utilizing Vital Bizform to establish linked CRM fields, calculation fields, and internal approval process, you can seamlessly connect and streamline your quotation workflow. This is an example of the opportunity page in Vital CRM. You can first design the quotation based on the design format of your traditional quotation. First would be setting up with related fields. Related fields are fields with APIs. You can then select main fields as the benchmark of other dependent fields. After choosing your CRM system, then choose the data you want to input to this form. Like in this field, choose company name. We will now bring in other fields based on company data. Similar with the steps before, you can select related fields, then select dependent on company. For example, on this field, choose address. Similarly, customer data can also be set to automatically bring in the customer name, just like in the company setting. Other fields dependent on customer data can also be brought in. With autofill, you can also bring in the name of the form creator. You can easily select autofill and available value select name. Next is to set a field to choose opportunity, used to bring in quoted items from the opportunity. Similarly to setting the main fields for companies and customers, we set an opportunity field as the main field for quotation details. Products in the opportunity can further bring in the details like name, quantity, unit price, and etc. Calculation fields can perform operations on unit price and quantity brought in by each product. We can calculate the subtotal through the brought in unit price and quantity. You can also add a prefix dollar. If there is an exchange rate to consider, we can also use sum to total the subtotals, then multiply by an exchange rate field. When filling in quotation, after selecting company and customer data, other fields dependent to the main fields will automatically be filled. After that, you can choose the opportunity and it will automatically bring in the items. The other information not included in the opportunity can be filled out manually. Lastly, you can also upload attachments and specify approvers. With attachments, you can also download it after the form is submitted. In the Attachment tab, you can click Download and it will be downloaded on your computer. You can also add stages, easily like that. In the next part, you can also create forms from the CRM system. For example, on customer visit records form, you can add form. To add form, you can select the visiting company in CRM, then go to the Bizform tab and click on Create Form. After that, you can choose the template you want to fill out. The company data selected will be automatically brought in. After that, you can fill out and submit the form. Clicking on the company name in CRM will open the form in Bizform. And in Bizform, you can also click the company name and view the CRM data. In Bizform, you can also create the Contact Us form template and upload Bizform's customer data to CRM. Set the fields for companies and customers as API-related main fields, and set fields related to companies and customers as API-related dependent fields. In other settings, you need to activate the public link. After activating, from this external link, customers can fill out the form like shown in this slide. To upload data from associated fields in the form to CRM, you can click on the CRM button on the upper right corner. Besides the mentioned features, we believe that forms within businesses also need to communicate with external individuals or customers. In what scenarios can this be useful? Probably there are scenarios like hospital consultations forms or visitor forms where form fillers could be patients or guests. Like before, you can set whether form can be filled out by those outside the department. Once activated, users without an account can fill out the form through the web. Moving on to the setup in this title and summary section, enabling it will display additional relevant descriptions at the beginning of the externally filled form. When allow user to upload file is turned on, the attachment upload function is available. This toggle will not affect the image upload field. If used for the event registration, you can set whether the form will be valid and expires with start date and due date. And lastly, with auto redirect, this can be used to automatically redirect to a thank you page or an online event check-in video link after form submission. This way, you can allow external individuals to fill out this form through a URL or QR code without the need for an account, making the form filling process very easy. During form approval process, it doesn't allow the initiator to modify, but the approver can make changes during their approval stage, and all edits will have a version history. In addition, they can also print and export or for administrators to delete. Bizform also addresses these issues on the right side of the form. You can to not only leave comments but also assign tasks to team members. Through task assignments and discussion on the form, the process of passing and receiving tasks transforms the form into not just a form but a collaborative platform. Moving on to the search function, the search bar at the top left allows you to directly find specific types of forms easily by clicking on it. You can also find forms based on specific dates and statuses. After clicking search, a list will be made. Query results can then be exported to Excel for external or internal use within the company. If this query filter is often used, you can also save filter for future use. After entering the filter name, you will then view the filters in the right side of the homepage. In addition, you can also display the filtered form in the homepage dashboard as shown on the slide. You can simply add a card and save. The Vital Bizform training ends here. If you encounter operational issues, please do contact us through our website or emails. We are always welcome for questions, so feel free to contact us anytime. Thank you.